Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. I hope you had all had a good week. Getting on to the weekly outlook on DXY, sorry, on the daily. We got this. Nothing's changed. We've got that WXY. We're looking for that X2 back to this 38.2, and then we're looking for that Z up. So nothing's changed. We're still in this wave. We're still in this wave Z. Wave Y, sorry, and we got that internal extended wave WXY X2 Z up. So we're looking for sells. There's nothing to say that this wave Y is over yet though on the daily time frame. On the H4 we're looking at WXY X2 and that extended wave Z up. So again, we're just looking for a correction down to this 38.2 and then another one up breaking the top. There is a possible bull hidden here. We got that possible bull hidden. My traders will know that it's not valid to trade, but it doesn't mean that it won't go up and break that top before we get that larger correction down to the 38.2. On the H1, it's still looking very much bearish. We do have bullish divergence, so it does make it hard to sell. We do have that bullish divergence, but this is looking very corrective for more downside. So if you do get a sell set up, you could look for a sell to at least go and break that low. Then you'll have to be careful. AU on the daily. So we got that WXY and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 as our complex correction. Then we got that A, B, C. So it's finally played out. There's nothing to say that this wave C down here is over yet. But if we go down to the lower time frames, we'll get a better idea. On the H4, we got that WXY X2 Z down, and we had that bullish divergence. We're getting a trend line break in here. I'm sort of looking for a buy up to this at least 50 fib. That'll be your first target, that 50 fib retracement of this move here. So as you see, we've got this wave up here. So we got an A, B, and we're still in a wave C. So if you get a break above here, a little flag up here, you know, you can look for that buy. First targeting that 50 fib. EG on the daily. We got that WX. We're still in this extended wave Y, then we'll be looking for the X2 and then the Z down. So again, we're looking for that 38.2 retracement in X2. H4, we got that A, B, C, and we got the extended WXY, X2 and Z down in the wave C. We've broken out of the trend line here. We're getting another bullish setup in here. It's quite risky because the first one didn't go. This one here didn't keep on going. So, and we have the bearish divergence already. So it is quite risky, but I think there is a little bit more upside in it. It could be quite choppy because it's an X2 on the daily. So it could be quite choppy. So it's more scalping, I believe. But yeah, if you get any buy setups, look for the buys. GU on the daily. We got that WXY X, Y. And like I've mentioned, wave Y can get down to this 161.8, then give us an X2 and then the Z down. Now, there's nothing to say that this wave Y here is over yet. On the H4, we got that W, X, Y, X2, Z down, and we lost all the bullish divergence. So I'm just looking for a correction in here and another one down. So it's really difficult to buy. It's quite risky. On the H1, we got that W, X, Y, X2 and the Z down. We got a nice A wave up, a difficult B wave, and then we got a C up breaking the high, and we got that bearish divergence again. So it's quite risky. It didn't give us the price action I was looking for. But as you can see here, I've got looking for an A, some sort of a B. We may just get an A, B, C up in here, and then we get the A, B, C in the B to finish off this B wave, and then we get the C up. I'm sort of starting to look at that. Because of the price action, it's not, this wave up in here didn't go, you know. If this was all of the wave B, this should have gone a little bit higher and given us a sell setup. And again, you can even look for the sell here because we do have that bearish divergence. So, you know, if you do get a sell setup, you know, you could look for the sell. Very risky again because it can just be an A, B, C, and then you get that A, B, C before you get the A, B, C. So something to consider if you're looking to trade any of these pairs. They all look very similar. They've all got this sort of structure here. So, you know, that's something to take into consideration if you're looking to trade next week. NU on the daily. So we're looking at that like A, B, C. It's gone past 100 pip. It's actually WXY. We can, like I said, we can come down to this 161.8 before we get an X2 and a Z down. We do have bullish divergence on the H4, and you are getting a bullish setup, very similar to all the rest of the majors. You know, if we have a look on the H1 quickly, excuse me, you can see here, you know, you're getting a buy setup. It's very much bullish. But again, we have that bearish divergence already. Yeah, so look for the buy, get it to break even, and take half off, and then just hold the rest. USD Japan. So nothing's really changed in this one either. We're looking at that WXY, extended wave Y, X2, and then a Z up. So nothing's changed. It's, on the H4, we're starting to get this X2, and I'd like to see it down to this 38.2 for a WXY, X2, and then a Z up. Like I said last week, this is quite risky because we do have a bull hidden here. In here, they still hadn't taken out that one there, so I can go up and break the top. On the H1, we got that ABC, we got the bullish divergence, but we're not getting the buy setup. You know, we got the ABC with the bullish divergence. what I'd like to see is a nice impulse up and then give a correction before you look for the buy. At this stage, it's really risky. We're at a top, and we've got the bullish divergence. If you want to look for the buy, it's quite risky, and we've got the bullish divergence on the H1, so it's risky to sell as well. The Swissy, we're looking at that A, B, C. It's actually went further than I thought it would. It went past that 100 fib and even past the 123.6. So we can either look at this as an A, B, C, and we go and break the low, which is unlikely because we lost all our bearish divergence. So I'm more interested in like an A, B, C down, and then possibly more upside on the daily. On the H4, we got this WXY. We're looking for this X2 and then a Z up. We already have that possible bull hidden. So more than likely, we'll get an A and a B and a C as a simple structure. But again, this can turn into any sort of structure. We're looking at a time factor of this here. So this can take quite some time before we get that Z up. You really, I mean, if you're scalping, you could put a sell stop at this low here. And if you get triggered, that'll be your stop loss. That's a little riskier way to do it, or you could wait for the larger correction in here. Wait for a larger correction in here and then give you that, like the A, B, C. That's the safest option. Wait for a correction and then look for the sell. UCAD on the daily. This one's quite confusing. We never got anywhere near that 100 fib. Looking at that, like A, B, C up, we do have bearish divergence. So is this the end and we go and break the low? Well, it is quite possible. It is possible. On the H4, we're looking for more upside still. There's two ways you can look at this. I was looking at this as internal. For a WX, extended wave Y, then get an X2 and then a Z up. That is still possible. Or you can look at it as WXY, X2, and we got the Z up with the bearish divergence, and we'll be looking for a sell from here to go and break the low. So if you do get a short setup, there's no reason why you can't look for that that sell. There is a possible bull hidden here, which is not valid to trade, as my traders know that it's not valid to trade, but it doesn't mean that it won't go up and break that top for the bull hidden. But at this stage, I'd be looking at, putting a sell stop down here. If you get triggered, well, that'll be your stop loss, and look for the A, B, C, and even look to go and break the low, because that may be the end of the daily ABC. On the GU, so we're looking at that WXY. I was looking for an X2 and then a Z up. That is still possible, that this is a expanding flat in here. It's not really giving us the setup, the price action to sell, to buy it. Sorry. We had this, like, there's a couple of different ways we can look at this on the H4. We can look at this as an A, B, C here, and then we get the A, B, C. And that's looking more likely because this is looking bearish in here. So we may get another one down in here, breaking the low, and then give us more upside. Sort of looking at that as the structure that we possibly will get. But again, we have bullish divergence. So, we have bullish divergence in here. So it may go and break the top, On the H1, it's looking very much bearish. There's a couple of different setups, you could look at, you get an A, B, C, then you get an A, B, C. So you could scalp this pair, look for a C down, and then, wherever this ends, look for the C down, and then you may get a bullish setup for the A, B, C. EG on the daily. This one hasn't gone. It was looking like it'd go, and it doesn't. So we're looking at WXY, X2, and the choppy Z down. Or we can look at it as like an A, B, C, and then we get that A, B, C, like I've mentioned. This is extremely choppy, very difficult to trade. We do have a bull hidden here on the H4 that you have to be careful of. This could go and break that top. Really, if you're looking for the sell, you'd want to wait for that low to be broken and then give you a sell setup. Because between the last two tops, we don't have any bearish divergence between this top and this top. So it becomes quite risky. On the H1, it is looking rather bullish, And again, it may be just like an A, B, C up, and then you get that larger A, B, C. So again, similar to GY, you could scalp this, Looking at gold on the daily. So like I said last week, we got that 1, 2, 3 down in here. So we're looking for 1, 2, 3 in here before we get an A, B, C. And then we'll probably get an A, B, C, larger running or expanding flat in there before we get more upside. On the H4, I was looking, we got that A, B, C down, and we got the bullish divergence. On the H1, we are getting a bullish setup, This is one of the nicer looking ones. We got the trend line break, so you could look to buy. I'll be looking to buy this. There was a nice buy setup in here that I took. It didn't give a nice correction. I was looking for an A, a nice B wave, something, nice B wave, and then look for the sell. It's very difficult because it did give an A, B, C down in here, and I took this in here, but it's very risky. We don't have the thing with this one. The reason this is probably the better one out of all of them. This one doesn't have that bearish divergence, so you can look for that flag. Looking at WTI on the daily, we've got that WXY, X2, Z up, lost all the bearish divergence. So I'm just looking for an A, B, C. before we get more upside, like I've said for months now. On the H4, we sort of got this like an A, B, C, and then we got this A, B, C. It's hit my target at that 100 fib. I did take this up here. Hit that target at 100 fib. It's starting to get quite complex because we've got all these corrections. We've got 1, 2, 3 in here for the A, like I was looking at A, B, C, and this one, we got that C up, but we never got the C down, breaking the low. And then we got another correction. We got this like A, B, C in here. And then we got the A, B, C. It's extremely difficult. I'd like to see more downside. You know, just to give us like an A, whatever's happening in here as a B, and then give us that C down. More confidence that we're going to go up and break the top, like I'm looking at on the daily. On the H4, at this stage, you're really in no man's land unless you took one of these trades in here for the buy. You know, you definitely take half off at that 100 fib, and now we got a move down and another move up. So there really isn't a setup to trade this now. We've broken that. We've broken the top for the ABC. It's bounced off that 100 fib. This can, you know, I'd be more interested in the downside, looking for the downside. But again, there is no real setup to the downside. So you have to be really careful with WTI at this stage. Bitcoin on the daily, like I've mentioned, we were looking at that possible A, B, C. It bounced clean off that 100 fib, gave a nice impulse up, but then it gave this. I was looking for another one up in here, as you can see, for an A, B, C before we get more downside, but it just fell over and broke the low before giving us this one up here. We do have the bullish divergence on the daily, so you know, as you can see, we're getting a bullish setup in here. If you do get any bullish setup, you can look for it. It may just become an A, B, C, and then we get more downside because we don't have any bullish divergence on the H4. So more than likely it's just an A, B, C, and then we get more downside. But you can look for that C up. As you can see, we're getting a correction in here. Really what you want to see is a breakout above that top, a flag or a correction, and then look for the buy for the C up. S&P 500, we're looking at that. There was a chance last week. We saw it down in here, and there was a possibility that this was A, B, C, and it was over, and we go up and break the top. There was that possibility, or we keep on coming down to the 161.8. We've lost all the bullish divergence, so more than likely, there's possibly more downside down to this 161.8, and then we'll get the X2 and then a Z down. H4, we got that 5 down, we got the WXY, X2 and the Z down. Then we got a correction and we've broken the low. Now, this may be a larger correction. We got the 5 down, so this may be the larger correction. We get an A, B, C in the B wave, and then a C up. So we get the A, B, C, and then more downside, possibly another 5 more down. And that's how I'm looking at it. You know, so you could scalp this, you know, if we just put some targets on here. So if you get a buy set up in here, you know, you could look for that 100 fib for the A, B, C, and then you'll be looking for a sell setup to go and break the low. AU 200, there's really not much on it at all. I'll quickly go over it, but yeah, there's not really much at all on this. We're just looking at the A, B, C down to this 100 fib on the daily. There's nothing to say that this isn't, this C wave down here isn't over. Yeah, it's getting quite complex on the lower time frames. You sort of got, we can look at it two ways, as an A, B, C up in here for a flat. But then we didn't get the price action for the sell. So that's why it's coming quite difficult, because it's hard to pick a structure. We've just got one down in here. So we may get like a little flat in here for an A, B, C, and then we get more downside. That's the only way I can really look at this. We've got an A, we'll probably get a B in here for an A, B, C. Then you get that A, B, C. Then you get that larger A, B, C before you fall over for the larger A, B, C. So at this stage, it's really difficult to trade. Same with the DAX. I mean, nothing's changed. We're just looking for an A, B, C. And then possibly an A, B, C. So just, you could look for that buy, pretty risky, but yeah. And the FTSE, again, there's really not much. It's very risky. It's something I'd stay out of. We've got a nice impulse down and another impulse up. It didn't quite break the top. Very deep correction. So, we're looking for a correction in here, and then like an A, B, C. Then you get that A, B, C before you get the larger one up. That's pretty much it. Me personally, I'd stay out of it. I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook this week. If you did, please hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything to hit the thumbs up. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.